evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiana. And, you know, I hadn't planned on doing a video tonight, much less a Zoom video. But I think tonight we need to talk about guns and mass killings and how this is a uniquely American problem. And, you know, as if it wasn't bad enough yesterday, 19 children shot and killed 2 teachers. I believe the tally for Sandy Hook was 20 students and 6 teachers. This was pretty damn close. And the shit being discussed around this today just infuriated me beyond, you know, all kinds of comprehension. I mean, you can ask Dave the next time you see him what the ride home was like with me on the phone with him. And I just decided that I had to make this video tonight. So let me reiterate again. 19 children gunned down, 2 teachers killed by someone carrying an automatic weapon, an AR-15, which he went out and purchased on his 18th birthday or the day after his 18th birthday. So we're going to share some screen here for you. So here we go. We start with the usual. Governor Abbott's heart is forever shattered. It's forever shattered by the killing of these children. And it's intolerable, the shootings that went on in Uvalde, according to Greg Abbott. It's intolerable. And we're going to talk about how Greg Abbott has helped this process along in just a few minutes. You know, we get the same shit, you know, our hearts are forever shattered. People are rightfully angry about what has happened. Our job is to ensure that the community is not going to be ripped apart. No, let's all unite. Let's all unite. The important thing here is that we stay united. We don't have to do anything about this situation because we have Second Amendment rights in this country, but we need to be united. And what they mean by being united is let's not talk about all of the hard facts surrounding all of this bullshit that goes on all of this time, only in the United States of America. Only in the United States of America. Okay? This guy is so full of shit, it's not even funny. So, of course, he tries to comfort his people, you know, and his comment is that it could have been worse. Yeah, I guess it could have been worse. I mean, he could have killed 30 kids, right? It could have been worse. It could have been worse because the police came to the rescue. The question isn't whether or not it could have been worse had the police not come to the rescue. The question is, why the fuck do the police even have to come to the rescue of these things anymore? How many do we need before we understand as a nation that this needs to stop? And please stop with the notion that tighter gun laws doesn't prevent killings, because in the countries of the UK and Australia, they have banned weapons like this, and they don't have any more mass shootings. They have not had any mass shootings since the bans went into effect. In the United States, we had an assault weapons ban that was instituted by George W. Bush, the elder, which his son allowed to expire so he could reap some money from the NRA. And when those laws were in effect, it did make a difference. So let's talk about the recent laws that Greg Abbott has changed that made this a lot easier. So it's unlicensed carry, lower minimum age, no federal limits. So As of September of last year, anyone 21 or older can carry a handgun in most places without any need for training or a permit. Without any need for training or a permit. So you can just, it's like the Wild Wild West there. The only place the Texans really need to carry licenses for the weapons is in schools and colleges. Although requirements can vary depending on the school and location, private businesses can also ban guns. Why the fuck do kids need to carry guns to schools and colleges? Explain that to me. Because we have a Second Amendment right? Is that right? Why are guns needed there? Why are guns needed in churches? Why are guns needed in food stores? Explain this to me. Because you know what, honest to fucking God, I'm 68 years old. I have been to many malls. I have been to food stores all my life. No one's ever tried to rob me in a food store or a mall. There have been mall shootings, but those have been people with automatic weapons. So the official minimum age to own and carry a gun in Texas is 21. Another law that came into effect in Texas in September of 2021 allows people between 18 and 21 to buy a handgun if they otherwise meet the requirements to own one and are under an emergency protection order by a magistrate. So in spite of the fact that 60% of Texans were against allowing guns to be carried in public places without a license, and almost half said they were in favor of making gun laws stricter, Governor Abbott, the governor, the man whose hearts are forever crushed, went ahead and made the gun laws a whole lot looser. I want you to think about that, folks. I want you to think about the fact that nobody in this country needs an AR-15 or an AK-47 or an automatic weapon of any kind. Nobody. The only reason anyone ever has those guns is to kill large amounts of people quickly. They are military grade weapons. You cannot hunt with them. In some places, it's illegal to use those guns to hunt. Okay? And by the way, the Second Amendment to the Constitution does not specify any carry of automatic weapons because they didn't exist at the time. So, you know, if abortion isn't mentioned in the Constitution, neither are automatic weapons. So Beto O'Rourke actually confronted Governor Abbott during his press conference. He kind of crashed it, is what I would call it. And good on him. Made me happy. His comment to Governor Abbott was, the time to stop the next shooting is right now when you are doing nothing. You're offering us nothing. And of course, someone called him an embarrassment, saying that he was out of line. But you know what? He was exercising his free speech rights. So if people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert can stand up during a State of the Union address and heckle the President of the United States, it's time for Greg Abbott to put on his big boy underwear and take it like a man. Beto O'Rourke was exercising his free speech rights. Like it or not. The only time actually the right wing likes free speech rights is when it's their free speech rights. And then we had Representative Tony Gonzales weighing in on Beto O'Rourke, who said that he was talking spewing rhetoric and hate. That's what he was saying, quote, spewing rhetoric and hate. I didn't hear Beto O'Rourke say anything about hate. All he did was call out the governor, which is within his rights. And according to Tony Gonzales, what we need now is unity. The community needs unity. In other words, unity. Let's not talk about the gun thing. We need to be uniting now and comforting the families. We're not going to talk about guns. And we're not going to do a fucking thing about guns. We need unity now. Fuck unity. We are not in this group advocating for any unity with the GOP on any level. The GOP is not worthy of unity. They are bigots, racist, misogynists, gun crazy whack jobs who have absolutely no respect for any institutions in this country. What they care about is their own power. Unity, my ass. No, thank you. I'm not interested in uniting with a party that continues to overturn people's rights and continues to turn a blind eye to the role that guns play in this country in mass shootings. They say that guns aren't killing people, people are. Well, you know what? If people are killing, you need to take the fucking guns out of their hands. As I've said, nobody in America needs an automatic weapon. So let's listen to all of the rhetoric. Want to hear some rhetoric here? Here's some rhetoric. This is right-wing rhetoric on the day after the shooting. Mitch McConnell, horrified and heartbroken. He's horrified and heartbroken. The entire country is praying for the children, families, teachers, and staff of the first responders on the scene. Marsha Blackburn, horrified and heartbroken. She's horrified and heartbroken too. Please join me in lifting their loved ones up in prayer. Prayer means jack shit. It means nothing, okay? Prayer is nothing. It accomplishes nothing. Governor Doug Ducey of Arizona, this is heartbreaking and soul-wrenching. If it is, do something about the gun problem in America. We are a nation addicted to weapons. Our prayers are with the parents, families, students, and staff of Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, at this unimaginable time. It's not unimaginable. It's all too fucking common. John Hoven of North Dakota, we're horrified by the news of Robb Elementary School. Mike, Mickey, and I are heartbroken. They're heartbroken. They're all fucking heartbroken. Ted Cruz, Heidi, and I are fervently lifting up in prayer the children and families in the horrific shooting in Uvalde. The same fucking scriptwriter writes all this trash. This is trash, okay? They mean none of this. If they meant any of this, they would take action. They're not. They're actually all going to speak at an NRA meeting in Texas this week. So then we come to Joe Biden, who rightfully tweets, the idea that an 18-year-old can walk into a store and buy assault weapons is just wrong. What in God's name do you need an assault weapon for except to kill someone? He's absolutely, positively, 100% correct. It has already been established that assault weapons don't serve any purpose than to assault large numbers of people and render them dead. Now, as I've said, we had an assault weapons ban in this country. According to Ted Cruz, Ted Cruz, that man about town, the boy genius from Texas, they're not effective. Let me reiterate again. I have somebody here who tweeted, I am a UK person. Both Australia and UK banned guns. Guess what? 0 mass shootings from that moment onward in both countries. Bans are effective, totally effective, 100% effective. They should all be banned. Assault weapons should be verboten. They should not be allowed in this country. No one should be allowed to hold an assault weapon. I don't care if you are a military person coming out of the military and you handled assault weapons. Once you are out of the military, you don't get to carry one as a citizen. They need to be banned. So now we come to Representative Randy Fine. This stiff is from Florida. And, I rest my case. I have news for the embarrassment that claims to be our president. Try to take our guns and you'll learn why the Second Amendment was written in the first place. That sounds like a threat to me, to the President of the United States. That's exactly what that sounds like. That sounds like a threat. Let me read it again for you. I have news for the embarrassment that claims to be our president. Try to take away our guns and you'll learn why the Second Amendment was written in the first place. This is not the first time somebody on the right has threatened Joe Biden. Mike Flynn has done it twice now. And you know what? Oh, right, it's free speech. I forgot. Do we get to do that here in America? I'm pretty certain if it were you and me, we wouldn't. But then we come to the best of Randy Fine. Elementary school children is a small sacrifice that I'm willing to make for the Second Amendment. Let me read that again. Elementary school children is a small sacrifice that I'm willing to make for the Second Amendment. First of all, they should really learn how to fucking use nouns and verbs together, but that's beside the point. Public schools aren't in the Constitution. And then in closing, at Vote Randy Fine in 2022, I don't think so. Gun owner, gun lover, gun connoisseur, and an A+ grade by the NRA, the National Rifle Association. Wow, what a great accomplishment. That's a great reason to vote for your legislator, because you get an A+ grade by the NRA. If that's why you're voting for Randy Fine, you're fucking twisted. But then we have something even more reprehensible. Paul Gosar. He tweeted that the shooter at the Robb Elementary School was a, quote, transsexual leftist illegal alien. All of this is a lie. And I can tell you who started the lie. Her name is Candace Owen. So Candace Owen took the opportunity to share a photograph of someone named Sam, who was 20, who started posting photos to build confidence after she transitioned. This is a person who had nothing to do with any of this, doesn't even live in Texas, knows none of the people, doesn't know the perpetrator of this crime at all. For someone to use this event to demonize transgender Americans is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And it's absolutely disgusting to post a picture of someone who had nothing to do with any of this. And I don't know how these people get away with this. This is not free speech, no matter what Elon Musk is telling you. This is reprehensible. Candace Owens should be banned from Twitter for good. She can go hang around on Gab, that other junk heap, right-wing cesspool of hate and bigotry, or BitChute, or Rumble. She doesn't need to be here doing this kind of shit and taking advantage of a situation to demonize people, put them in the spotlight, and cause them pain on top of all of the rest of the pain that's already been caused to people. And she's not the only one, by the way, Sam, who got taken advantage of here. There was another person who was misidentified as the shooter. The article will be in here. Somebody named Sabrina. And, you know, she declined to share her last name. She's 22 years old. She lives in New York City. Doesn't even live in Texas. She replied to a number of tweets in an attempt to debunk the information. Please delete them. I don't want my image associated with the tragedy. This is reprehensible and it's inexcusable. Inexcusable. And now we're going to close out this thing with a couple of more points here. There is a new gun maker. I'm going to put this article in here. It's called We Tactical. There's a new gun maker. They have a vision. They have a JR-15 right here, a weapon for children, a tactical weapon, a semi-automatic weapon, lighter and easier to carry around than a regular AR-15, under 2.5 pounds, lightweight for young shooters' safety, 20% smaller for young shooters' safety. You got to love their logo. Look at that right there. A baby skull and crossbones with a little target in the eye and a pacifier. The We Tactical gives you swag. They'll be at Houston 22, the NRA. They'll be showing off their little weapon. And now let me tell you right here, in Massachusetts, you can't own an assault weapon. It's illegal. We have some of the strictest gun laws in this state, and we're happy that we do. All of this shit needs to stop. Now, I recognize that the American people are pretty pathetically lazy. This will only continue until there is gun legislation, and there will not be any gun legislation as long as the GOP has this many people in office. They will use the filibuster, and they will block whatever kind of gun legislation tries to get passed. There's no need for a filibuster either. That's another thing that we should get rid of. A filibuster is just basically subverts democracy. That's what it does. It obstructs. It's a boil on the gas of progress. Assault weapons need to be banned nationwide, all across this country. Assault weapons need to be put away. We need a buyback program for people who already own them. And it should never be possible for an 18-year-old to walk into a store and buy not one, but two assault weapons. And by the way, I just got something in here from Dave while I was making this video. So let me see if I can find this here. Today, actually, just now, not too long ago, a kid got caught outside of a Texas high school with an AK-47 today. This shit does not happen in any other country in the world. It does not. It's not reported anywhere because it doesn't happen anywhere. It's a uniquely American problem. We are babes compared to other countries. And we act like children almost every day on a number of topics. But this is a tragedy. And it's a tragedy that's going to keep happening unless people understand that automatic weapons, AR-15s, AK-47s, and JR-15s need to be banned and taken off the market. I'm sorry, if it's going to hurt the NRA financially and it's going to hurt gun manufacturers, tough shit. People are losing their children so that you can make money. And that's really what it boils down to. I'm done here. I'll talk to you all later.